Hello, welcome back to the channel. For those of you guys who are new and don't know me, my name is Andy. I will be attending the Medical College of Georgia in the fall as a first year student, and we are going to continue all these videos on pre-med and application processes. Today, we're going to talk about the essential college courses to properly prepare you for the MCAT. Now, I've said it a ton in my previous videos, which if you haven't checked them out, they'll be linked below, that studying for the MCAT and studying for your classes are not mutually exclusive things. If you choose the right classes at the right time, studying to do well in your classes is studying to do well on the MCAT. Studying for your classes does not specifically take away time that you need to be studying for the MCAT. Because of that, preparation overlaps. I think the best advice to make sure they overlap well is to supplement your coursework with MCAT material and vice versa. That will be the best way to prepare you for both at the exact same time. Now, the classes that I'm going to recommend are based off of the BSMD program that I was in, because we had to prepare to take the MCAT in 2 years instead of the typical 3. So we were squeezing in a lot of coursework that was specifically designed and picked out for us to best prepare us to take it early. But I'm going to break it down like you were taking the MCAT in your traditional 3 years of undergrad. So we'll tell you which classes I would recommend for your freshman year, your sophomore year, and then your junior year. And by the end of that, you should feel pretty ready to take it. So year one is going to be pretty basic. You're going to be knocking out your Gen Chems and Gen Bios. I highly recommend that you take both. You're going to probably want to take your psychology and sociology, because a lot of that material is just straight up memorization of terms and then applying those terms to different situations. So those need to be knocked out really quick. They don't take too much time, not much brain power, and especially because you were transitioning from a senior in high school into a college environment, you're going to want to have just a little bit easier of a workload to help you get adjusted. Typically in your first semester, you'd be taking Bio 1, Chem 1, your psychology, sociology, maybe your Englishes if you didn't exempt them, and some communication classes probably. Your second semester would then be Bio 2, Chem 2, and then maybe physics if you can squeeze that in. I took my physics 1, which was I believe a mechanical physics, my second semester of college. So I would highly recommend getting started on all of those and really pay attention in those classes. I know it's pretty simple, especially for the super neurotic, highly motivated pre-med, but I highly emphasize that that is the foundation for the rest of your courses and the foundation for the rest of your MCAT preparation in general. Next is a pretty essential year, your sophomore year. So this year you are now building upon your basics and you're learning your applicable lab techniques, because your general bio and general chem lab techniques aren't really emphasized as much on the MCAT as some more advanced ones. And then now you're finally getting an intro into a lot of your biochem and highly yielded metabolic pathways and cellular biology pathways. So I would recommend that you would finish up your physics, and most likely it will be an electronics and magnetism physics. That's what I took in my first semester, my second year. So finish that up, learn that. It's gonna be on the MCAT, of course, not in super high yield, but you still need to pay attention and learn that material because it's really hard to learn kind of on your own. Then you would be doing your organic chemistries. Now you definitely need to pay attention in these classes. They will show up on the MCAT in discrete questions, so they're going to be a lot of the time without a paragraph to help you, so you're just going to need to be able to recall different mechanisms and what reagents cause what products. So definitely take those classes to prepare you for those questions. And organic chemistry techniques are a very important part of some of the paragraphs in there. It will describe those product preparations, so definitely learn those all the way through. I would recommend taking a genetics course because a lot of genetics will be on your bio and biochem section. Definitely take a cell bio class or a microbiology class, because these will start to introduce you to very simple biochemistry and then introduce you into the microbiology lab techniques that are talked about a lot in some of the paragraphs, because again, these paragraphs are taken straight from scientific literature. So they're going to mention a lot of these techniques such as gram staining, bacteria, lab tests, analyzing for bacterial metabolism. All of that is super important and will show up. So I highly recommend taking those classes your second year to kind of ease your way into the more advanced stuff coming in your junior year. And finally, in your junior year of college, these are the classes that I would definitely recommend, because now you are at a level of higher understanding and you're now starting to solidify more advanced concepts that will be brought up in the MCAT. So at this point, you should be done with your physics, your psychology, sociology, all your chemistries, including organic chemistry. So that really leaves you with sharpening up on your bio and biochem. I would recommend taking anatomy and physiology courses, because some of that can cross over into psychology, because the psychology section is almost like a psychological anatomy section. There's a lot of central nervous system, brain anatomy that you have to know and just like straight up recall. I would recommend taking a pathway heavy course. For me, my university offered an advanced cell biology course that we all took. Pathway heavy courses really help you to dissect really intricate metabolic pathways, which is a alphabet soup of acronyms, and a lot of them you might end up seeing in a passage on the MCAT. So it just helps you familiarize yourself with where can I pick out in a pathway that I can manipulate and cause a change. And then not just that, but be able to trace back why that change is happening. Next, of course, take a designated biochem course. You're going to need to know all your amino acids straight up from memory. You're going to need to know a lot of techniques that are involved in the labs in there. So definitely take those courses. Next, I would recommend getting involved in some sort of research. It doesn't matter if it's clinical based or lab wet work, but something that will expose you a lot to scientific literature. That is something that helped me out when I was preparing for the MCAT, because the passages are taken from publications. Just being exposed to those type of writings and those types of diagrams just makes the process so much easier when you see them on the test. They're not going to be foreign. You're going to be able to read them and understand them at a higher speed than if you haven't been exposed to it before. And then outside of that, I would just recommend just taking any bio electives that you like. For my university, there was histology, endocrinology, pharmacology, there was a molecular pathogenesis class, and even a carcinogenesis class. So the important thing of doing bio electives that you find interesting is the goal is to build up a library of personally applicable scenarios for different topics. It builds understanding and it increases memory, so that when you're thinking of that topic, it's something that is engraved personally to you and not just a scenario that was fed to you from a website or a textbook. That is the best way to use your classes in study. So thank you guys for watching. I know this one was a short one. I've been trying to get my videos down to 10 minutes or less, because I know nobody really likes to watch a 25-minute plus video. But I hope these videos are helpful to anyone out there pursuing medicine in college, or maybe you're some crazy high school student watching this thinking, what am I going to get myself into in college? But keep on going. Hopefully this helps with scheduling for the next year, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.